The Railways tomorrow presents its annual budget. Now, while that is important, more important is the fact that the Railways tomorrow will be giving a sense of how its earning program will be going for the year. Now, the budget per se, because of the drama that it creates, because it's presented in the Parliament, that has sort of playing to the gallery. But the real thing to look at is how is the Railways trying to work out its finances. And frankly, the railway finances are in a very difficult position. The railways today, the total earnings of the railways as per the interim budget projection is 1,65,000 crore, 1,65,000 crore. Now, out of that, most of the money is spent just for a railway's basic maintenance. In other words, its salary, its running expenditure eats up almost the entire percent of that money. So essentially what the railways end up doing is just getting enough money to run its day-to-day operation. It doesn't have money to do any long-term investment. But this is India's largest infrastructure setup. And if it doesn't manage to get the money to invest for the future, then obviously we have a serious problem. If you look at what, for instance, the new government is trying to say, the government says, I want to move agricultural goods faster from where they are produced to where they are consumed. That means that it needs very fast freight trains, air-conditioned goods trains. Those will not be coming unless and until the railways are able to invest for them. And railways just don't have the money. If you look at the passenger earnings are grossly way below what it needs to run its operations. Its passenger earnings is just now just 30% of its budget. This is just pittance. It just can't run a network on such poor earnings ratio. Now, if you look at the budget numbers, and you'd see that each one of those numbers are looking extremely weak. Out of the total traffic earnings, the passenger earnings from upper class, from the second class, the total passenger earnings is just 45,000 crore. Now, how is the railways supposed to be able to maintain any amount of financial discipline with that sort of an earning from passengers? Because if it loads the entire expenditure onto goods, then the problem would be that would lead to a rise in the price of all the goods. So that leads to inflation. It is not something that anybody would need. If we talk it in terms of equity, that means the poorest guys are paying for the travel of the people who are traveling in sleeper class. This is an inequitable situation which the railways cannot continue forever. As a result of not having that money, what the railways have been doing is they've been borrowing. They've been borrowing from the market at a very high rates of interest. But that borrowing has also reached somewhat of a peak. It's already 90% of railway wagons are leased out to its own financial sector company called IRFC. So the railways need to do some solid re-engineering of its finances tomorrow. The investment part will come next year, but tomorrow's numbers should look what the railways would like to do in this year to get its financial house in order. Thank you.